Greetings, beloveds. I'm sitting by a small pond under a weeping willow tree in Glastonbury Abbey. This is definitely one of my most joyous places to be on the planet. It's such a homecoming, welcoming, warm, sensual, inviting, androgynous, the mother, father, goddess, supreme united here, which feels similar to what we know as the divine feminine. And I just arrived. I'm not only filled with joy, but I'm brimming and spilling over with joy. It's cornucopia. Cornucopias. I'm being filled and it's overflowing and sharing with everybody. And the presence and the power here is unerring. It never dwanes. And just before here I was in Avebury, which also has similar, very, very similar tones to here. But this is profoundly beautiful. Prior to that, I was in on Silsbury Hill and Stonehenge, which have withdrawn their chi, and all the underground passageways and tunnels of Stonehenge are actually filled with military, armed military. And in fact, the whole of Stonehenge has been is very active with military under the ground and even above the ground, with armed forces and helicopters, and it's quite active at the moment. And Silsbury Hill also, she has withdrawn her chi, which is in the vicinity, but Avebury not. Partially, we can say partially, but not. But for sure here in Glastonbury, in the Abbey, it's unstoppable. It's indivisible. It's continuity, continuous. It's we cannot break this flow of where these multitudes of ley lines meet. Yeah, I was just in another before I came here. I was on this landmass. I was on a different landmass where I was also sitting under a weeping willow tree, similar to this. I was in the water though. I was in warm water, but under the weeping willow where I would sit in the mornings. It was a bit warmer than here, but it's just joyous. I just stopped to share this joyous moment with you, that of supreme unity, of recognition of the divine feminine, and the feminine, the importance, not even just the importance, but the necessity, the absolute necessity of divine feminine to guide then the divine masculine to her, and for the unity to arise. So we attain the supreme, we could call it Mother, Father, God, Goddess. frequency or our DNA, because it all goes down to the sequencing of our DNA that was misrepresented by switching by during the patriarchal rule about 6,000 years ago, was actually switched around. All the symbols that were feminine were then donated to masculine. So it caused a huge amount of confusion for the human psyche, and hence has led us to the places that we find ourselves today, are the disharmony with this patriarchal rule. Just because they did that simple switch, everything that was female, and which was the leading, they perceived to be the god, or the godhead, they put the feminine in what they considered the second place, which was where the male, they had saw the male, and they replaced the female with the male. So everything that was leading and feminine became leading and male. And so, you know, a lot of the architecture, well, most of the architecture was broken or destroyed or defaced. And so we would mostly just see male figures. But we were androgynous. Our creators are androgynous. We were originally androgynous as beings. So, you know, we could have like a beard and breasts, and we would have both sexes. So often depictions you will see of a being with a beard. This figurine will also have breasts if they're not defaced, and possibly a fishtail, because originally we were amphibians. We were mostly half what we call human and half fish, or half human and another kind of animal, like centaur, like hooved base and upper body, human type, but still androgynous. And there were many different kinds of experiments and tests done to get what's current human, with 2 arms, 2 legs and a head, like a star, a walking star, without hairs really. We're mostly hairless. But with a piece missing, you know, with our spirituality missing, you could say. And also defaced because of the patriarchal rule that we still have today. So it's very hard for some who really have believed wholeheartedly in these male godheads, you know, like Moses and Jesus and Muhammad and Krishna, you know, as these male godheads, but in fact they weren't. They were female. They were all female godheads. These godheads are not even real. You know, that these figures, these people were put into these positions to just start a new cult, if you will, a new patriarchal way of living through spirituality. But they're not even real figures. And but you know, because it's so long running now, people wholeheartedly believe in these figures and have created them as a reality. So in one respect they are a reality. But behind that, on a higher truth, is that they were just figures that replaced other figures which were feminine. And then the backstory was turned around quite a lot, but because the truth is there, they need the truth because it's their originality also. They've kept it in hidden, as people say, in plain sight. So you'll see all the arches, and you know, are always pointed, you know, the pointed arches representing our amphibious ancestors who created us, you know, with the fish tails. And you know, the dresses, all these the male patriarchal godheads and leaders, they all wear dresses, you know, where you don't see the feet, and you know, the divine feminine. And some of the even the Christians in the Roman Catholic Church, they wear this the fishtail on their heads. You know, you see their pointed bishop kind of hats, and their fishtails representing the you know, this androgynous alien being that came, that was actually a fish. Ultimately, she didn't have arms and legs; she had a head and a tail. So these bishops or pope people from the Roman Catholic Church, they all, you'll see that. You'll see the acorn representing them. You will see the pine cone. I know many people say the pine cone is representing the pineal gland, but actually it's representing this the body, the tail of the fish, of our amphibious creators. And this is ancient matriarchal wisdom, which goes way beyond the patriarchal rule. So this is coming. This consciousness we are breaking into, the reality of this, so we'll be able to see it and meet with ourselves as they, and they with us. But this consciousness, truth is pushing up to the awareness is here for all now. So it's the truth is coming out regardless. So even though these leaders have known this falsehood for a long time, it's so long, they didn't create it themselves, it was their ancestors, so it's very hard for them to break it. Of course, we must understand that. And so they're not going to let down their show their cards that easily, and which is understandable. I can understand, but the truth is here, the truth is now, and so enjoy enjoy the revelations as we expand. Thank you, my dear relations. I love you.